All right, everybody. It is Monday morning, a little bit before 10:30. There's just so much knowledge we have to share with the universes that we had to get started a little bit early. Everybody's making a big deal about. I should back up a little bit. The great Mark Puttenfink has once again joined us. Patriot Training Systems. He trains Alex Ovechkin how to score goals.
Yeah.
Everybody. So everybody's making a big deal about Alex Ovechkin scoring a few goals, right? But do we realize the greatness that Mark Puttenfink spreads to the world every day?
Well, beside that, try to catch Gretzky surpasses his sister.
I know.
Ain't happening.
It is kind of fun. And, I was very fortunate, as we've spoken about, to play with Wayne in LA and be there when he broke Gordie Howe's all-time point record. So it's a great compliment that Ovechkin has been able to break Wayne's scoring record. But it's funny, right? Because we all watched the play. We looked at him as a playmaker, Wayne was. He wasn't a goal scorer, although he scored the most goals ever. So, yeah.
I don't think, well, anything's possible, but doubtful that his total point record will ever be broken.
Isn't it like 1,200 points still?
Well, it's more than I forget. I lost track, but it's a whole bunch.
I know.
So how about this, man? I didn't realize this. And I was watching one of those hockey, little thing. Mike Bossy, I think he retired when he was 30, and he was still healthy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But the year before, he only scored 38 goals. It was the first time in his career he had less than 50.
I know.
He's like, time to retire.
It's funny because
imagine?
I, for years, playing against him, thought, think back, he's not that good, playing. And then I go back and watch old videos. I mean, it was scary. If you let him shoot from inside the blue line, he had a chance to score. Yeah.
I mean, the game changed. The pads were different. The goalies were smaller then and all that. But so what? I mean, you can't deny the talent. And then I was watching this morning, and actually this was almost like a follow-up to another video. LaFleur used to go to the rink for, when did you usually get to the rink? 3:34 or 4:30 something. He'd be there dressed, head to toe at 1 o'clock, 1:30. Yeah. And so then I guess when Gretzky played with him on Team Canada, that was Gretzky's idol, was LaFleur.
Sure.
And LaFleur would drive him to practice, and he goes, "Yeah, I'll be by at 1:30. Why so early?" And then Gretzky said, because what he told me was, back then you didn't have the lounge and all that. You had a locker room and the trainers. That was it.
Yeah.
And nobody could bother you. So your phone's not going off, and the seekers aren't looking for it. You get to the ring. Yeah.
Isn't it funny too? So you talk about those great players, Bossy, LaFleur, Gretzky, Ovechkin. So, and I'm not condoning this and saying this is good. Bossy and LaFleur, cigarette smokers.
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky, I've seen him eat cheeseburgers and fries before games. Ovechkin has the Subway and the bag of chips before the game. Now, again, this science tells us about, preparing and all that kind of stuff. But
I think so. They're just such at a different level, athletically and mentally.
I think, okay, I'm going to, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I'm going to respectfully disagree a little bit. See, I think certainly mentally, no question.
Mm-hmm.
But physically, I mean, you look at Gretz, there wasn't he wasn't a great,
nothing to him.
Yeah, and he wasn't this great athlete. He was a good athlete, but yeah.
I just think, and I think if they did take better care of their bodies, maybe they would have been even more productive.
Okay, do you think so?
I don't know. It's a good question. Yeah, it's hard to say.
The part of me is that part of what made them successful was, I don't care what the environment is, I don't care what the situation is, I'm going to go be great.
Right.
And not that they force themselves to eat bad food or smoke cigarettes, but it's kind of along with that line where it's like, I don't care. If I want to eat a bag of chips before the game, I eat a bag, and then I'll go out there and I'll score 5 goals. Right.
So I think also part of it is, and I'm sure you could count 20 guys right off the bat that were the first one on the ice and the last one off.
Yeah. Yep.
And people think, oh, well, it's natural born talent. Well, it is to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But
yes, it's that passion for the game. Like Gretz, again, being lucky to play with him, he loved everything surrounding the game, like going out for beers with the boys, being on the road with the boys, even dealing with the media. Like you watch him this past weekend with the whole thing with Ovechkin. Man, he was unbelievable. I thought he got a little carried away on the ice after he scored the record breaker, thanking the referees and it was like, okay. But that's him. He wants to think of everybody.
But going back to the work ethic.
Yeah.
Years ago, I went to they had the senior open in golf, right? So it was so long ago. It was Jack Nicklaus, it was Arnold Palmer, it was Lee Trevino, and all those guys. And a young man that's a good friend of mine. It's actually my son's godfather. He was doing security, so I got to get in the locker room. I met Arnold Palmer. I met all those guys. It was really cool. But Lee Trevino won. won the tournament on the 18th hole. It was a great victory. He came from behind. He won. And you know what he did? He picked up his ball, got the trophy, said what he had to do on TV, and went straight to the practice range.
Oh.
Because it was something that he still wasn't feeling right about.
Yeah, yeah.
And to me, when I saw that, I was like, wow.
That's cool, especially when there's no coach telling him to do it, right? He's doing it on his own. Yeah,
that's what separates those guys from the rest of us mortals. You know?
Yeah, you do hear about that with Tom Brady, where you got listen to Edelman talk about him. Like he would force the kid to go out there and keep throwing and keep throwing and keep catching him. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, aggressors like that. Like I said, and I know it sounds strange saying it this way, but then we go out and have fun with the boys, and then next day of practice, he would be laughing and joking, but he would be working his ass off. He just, but again, enjoying it. That's why I said he would enjoy it. Like he's had a few beers. He'd rather be doing something else, but he's just working his ass off.
And then you have the other end of the arc, guys like Chelly, who would get completely banged up.
Yeah.
And yet they'd be at the rink at like 4 a.m. They'd take the bike and put it in the sauna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was legendary. So Chelly being Chris Chelios, in case people don't know. He was legendary for that he would drink with boys all day long and then be at the rink, like you said, doing crazy stuff, putting the sweat bag on and the whole bit.
Yeah. And it's a different player now because they're tuned into like performance and nutrition, most of them anyway. But back, as you know, years ago it was a little bit different. Yeah.
But you know what though? Like you watch Washington, supposedly they're famous for those boys. Like they like to pound a few beers still, that team.
Yeah. Too much. Somebody got in trouble over the weekend.
What's that?
Too much. Someone got in trouble over the weekend.
I think that was a bogus story.
Oh, was it? Good.
Yeah. The drunk driving thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bogus.
Oh, okay.
I know the kid's dad.
Jeff, right?
Yeah, Chikrin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I first saw it too. I thought, oh my God, ruined the whole
But apparently he's a really good kid.
Yes.
And he was so, and this is the other thing. Like the kids that only play hockey all year long, don't.
Yeah.
And you're going to be, if you're that good, you're going to be playing plenty of hockey.
Yeah.
And he said, I didn't play hockey year round. I played tennis. I played, my father wouldn't let me, he said his father wouldn't let me play football because of the injury potential, but he played other sports.
Sure. Oh yeah. Totally. Yeah. This whole thing about, and I get it. And we and I have both coached too, and we don't want to pick on the coaches because there's a lot of fine coaches out there, but it's turned into an industry for these coaches.
Oh, yeah. And in fact, so Gretzky's father used to, in the backyard rink, leave twigs all over it so that he had to kind of go around and work it. Sure. But that's Gretzky. Some other kids would be, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like
totally.
when I'm 4, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it doesn't work for every kid, but I mean, there are kids that, but even Gretzky, once the season was over, bag got closed, I played baseball.
Yep, definitely. Yeah,
in fact, he was drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays, wasn't he?
I think he was. Yeah. He was good. And when I say he wasn't a great athlete, I mean he was a good athlete. But I guess if you compared how great he was as a player, as a hockey player, it doesn't necessarily relate to his level of greatness just as an overall athlete, right? So
look at Tom Glavine from the Atlanta Braves. He was drafted by the Boston Bruins. I mean, legitimately drafted. It wasn't just a 12. Yeah. Well, what they used to go like 17 rounds back in the day or something.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, they drafted.
There was a time like when I was drafted, there was no limit. If some teams would stop at 10, other teams would go into like 21 rounds. They just keep going.
Wasn't there a couple times they drafted like just for the hell of it, make believe guys that didn't exist?
I saw that
it had the PR
Buffalo Sabres created. They actually found a real name for a Japanese player, a Japanese person.
That was it. Yeah.
And I guess there's sometimes fans still wear that jersey to games.
Oh, is that right?
That's cool. That's a great story. That's yeah. That message doing that at the draft. It's like we're here anyways. Might as well have some fun.
I think I remember. I think you and I were talking about who's the kid on Philly, big strong kid, Darren Kimball.
Yeah.
I guess he was a Westerner, right?
Yeah.
He gets drafted and he gets up, how they get up to go down. And he must have stepped on a chair in front of him. His leg went right through the seat. Oh. And whoever was the scouts for Philly, big and dumb, just like we like them.
That is true. Okay. So a lot of topics. We'll go back to Ovechkin a little bit here also. So the New York Rangers.
Oh, my God.
Let
me ask you a question before we start talking.
Hold on. They get, just to be paint a picture, they got 6 games left. They're 6 points behind too, right? But okay. Yeah.
So face-offs on your end, on your side, where are you lining up?
Face-off. Well, if I'm the
lefty,
I'm the lefty. If it's on the left side,
yeah.
Well, then it depends where the other forward lines up.
Let's say he's on the wall, on the half.
Okay, so I'm going over there on the wall.
Yeah, I mean that's the standard setup, 6 across, right?
Yeah.
They put, I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't even know who the D-man was, on the goal line, like you see in men's league hockey.
Wow.
Jersey wins the draw. There's nobody going out, no one near coming out. Who I think it was, and I think it came to Quinn. And he just walked it and made a pass to a one-timer to the net. I'm like, I just don't get it. Like,
Yeah, I know. Like, even, their power play, which has been so good for so long, it's just died on them. A big sign to me was like at the end, again, this is going to seem like a small deal, but at the end of the game, there's like 20 seconds to go. The Rangers are down 4-0. They know they're not going to win, but they take the puck behind their own net and they just stand there with the puck, just letting the time run out. And again, I know it's a small thing, but like conversely, about a week ago, Florida was playing Montreal. And Florida was going to lose the game. There's about 10 seconds left. Florida gets the puck in their own end. The guy fires it at the Montreal player's head from the ice. They're sending a message like, we're not going down without something happening.
And that's what we've talked about before, is just you can accept losing, or not accept. Even that you're down 4-0, you're still competing. Yeah. Like, and perfect example is Kachuk up in Ottawa. They play here. They were in New York a couple of years ago, and it was a 1-0 game in the third. Pretty good game. And you just saw his body posture on the bench. I'm going out and I'm going to score the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie it up. And he did. Yeah. And then same posture on the bench. I'm going to win this in overtime. And he did.
Yeah.
And
it's because the problem I'm having with the Rangers, like they showed, like last year, they're the best team in the league as far as like winning the President's Trophy. Now they've made a lot of changes, but still, it's just that whole overall mentality that like they're just not willing to kill somebody. I hate to say it like that, but put it all.
Bringing in JT was supposed to change the room, and apparently it hasn't.
Yeah.
And you still see. I hate to pick on the kid, but Zibanejad, what did he play? He played 10 games this year. That's it. That he showed up.
I know.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, and then and the poor Keandre Miller now, like, I think if somebody didn't know what's gone on in the past and just watched him play, he's not that bad of a player.
Oh no,
big and skilled. The problem is now there's a whole history here with the player. So
that giveaway in front against New Jersey was pretty awful. But even JT Miller, I mean, it came up to him on the half wall, or actually close to the blue line, and he just turned and made a lazy pass. He put it right on the tape, and it didn't end up in the net, but it was a grade A chance.
I know. Here's somebody that brings it every day. All right, brings it every day. The great Deb Miners-Hagen Anderson brings it every day. Miss Security. She works like security. She, that she's a security, like she works in cybersecurity and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Yeah.
She has some. I should be careful, but she has some high level clearances.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Maybe that's not even her real name. Maybe they just made up Miners-Hagen.
It could be
it's a code word. You know what? We're onto something. There's some kind of code there. Yeah. Miners-Hagen. So we'll have to decipher that. Like it's almost German for Haagen-Dazs or something like that. Like maybe Haagen-Dazs is like a CIA name.
Like they had Project Artichoke. Yeah. No, they did.
Right.
Yeah.
Project, I never heard that. Project
Artichoke.
Artichoke.
And then that became MK Ultra. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And that's when the real fun began. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know. Isn't that like, so now I've gotten more as every day goes by. I've gotten to the point where I don't believe anything.
No.
I don't believe the politicians.
Not a word. Not a word.
No. So like even like going to the moon, like as an example, people say, well, geez, you'd have to have so many people that would buy into the conspiracy. Well, yeah. I mean, you look at our federal government, that's kind of what everybody does, right? So
who was they protect? Well, there was supposed to be the first woman on the moon.
Oh.
Yeah, Ralph Cramden's wife.
What was his line? You're going to the moon and back
or something. Not whatever. You're going to the moon and
oh God, it is. I watch now the media, and again, I think if I go back like 2 years ago, I was probably like, I don't care. And now, like you and I've talked about it, now I'm paying more attention to it.
Well, COVID woke us up.
What's that?
COVID woke everybody up.
Yeah,
they're lying to us about everything.
Yeah. Let me see here. Do you think play would have been stopped again if Obi scored 896? No, I don't think they would have. No, that's a great question though. But I think once he broke the record, that was it. So,
by the way, Lou got fired.
Lou Lamoriello?
Yeah.
No, I saw that. I think that was another rumor. Yeah, I saw the same stuff as you. Because there's nothing
that said, "Don't believe everything on the internet." And I'm starting to understand what he said.
And again, I think a lot of the stuff may have started April 1st and just kind of carried
bled over. Yeah.
because I saw that too. It was written like it was the true story, but I don't think
only Lou could fire Lou.
Yeah. Although I guess if things continue, I mean, to not go well, because the bad thing with Lou is he's earned the right to do this. He said, listen, if I'm coming in, as you know, I'm running
my way.
Right. Yeah. Now, that's great if you're winning. Now, all of a sudden, if they don't win for a while, then that's going to get kind of
it's all on him.
Yeah.
But, New Jersey, I think, has only been in the playoffs twice since he's gone.
Oh, is that right, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting. And he helped build, I mean, he was part of building the Toronto franchise. It's pretty good right now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's certainly got, and you got to give him credit, right? Lou doesn't. There's no halfway. I don't think he plays any politics. This is my way. This is what it's going to be.
Yeah, and he certainly has his finger on the pulse. He knows what everybody's doing at a given moment. From the stories I've heard, trust me.
Okay, so Rangers again, mathematically, they have one more game to play than Montreal does. Montreal has 5 games. Rangers have 6.
They've been playing well, right?
Montreal's won like 3 or 4 in a row. Yeah, maybe higher than that.
A whole bunch.
Montreal again is 6 points ahead of Rangers right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do the math, let's say Montreal goes 500.
Mm-hmm.
They're at 79 points now, I think, or is that what they're at?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
So that means if they went, I think it's more than that. I think they're at 91.
Where's Wonder Woman?
Yeah, she'll be here. Where's she? So that means then that if they play 500, they would get like 11 more points than the Rangers currently have. Rangers have 6 games to play. That would mean the Rangers would have to
run the table.
Just to beat them. So mathematically, it's tough. Again, that's maybe Montreal does not do anything, but I don't see that happening. They seem like they're.
So what's going to happen? What do you think? I mean, are they going to just go rebuild? Are they going to try and bring in? I mean, where do you begin?
See, I don't think the Rangers and MSG are rebuilding. Even when they put out the letter that they're going to rebuild there a few years ago, I don't know if it was luck or whatever. Panarin wanted to come to the Rangers. That's typically not a move you would make in the middle of a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't, if he wants to come, you can't really pass up Panarin. Trouba wanted to be here. That obviously people don't maybe like what happened, but at the time that was a big move for them.
Yeah.
Shesterkin, obviously, his play really developed. So their rebuild really wasn't like a true rebuild. Like you look at San Jose or Chicago right now in their rebuild. So
what this coaching staff, they're gassed at the end of the year?
I would assume like no one, and Mr. Dolan, again, a very successful man, obviously. He's shown that he just doesn't accept it. I mean, in his world, like people may say, well, you need to be patient, all that. In his world, no, we don't need to be patient. And you look what he's done. When he fired Jeff Gorton and John Davidson, they went out and then won the President's Trophy after he fired those guys. So I think he's shown that, listen, that you don't have to stay with the same people all the time. It's like any other business. The business is really what's important, not the people that are necessarily running.
How much influence do you think Slats still has?
A lot. I think a lot.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Definitely. Everybody knows Slats is Glenn Sather. Glenn had obviously longtime general manager and coach with the Edmonton Oilers. Came in here with the Rangers, and people will criticize him because he went for all those older guys at certain times. But I think that's what they kind of wanted. They wanted all that. So,
well, he brought Edmonton to New York and won a cup. Or no, that was actually Neil Smith.
Yes, Neil Smith did that. Yeah. Interesting.
Brought Edmonton in.
Yeah.
And then they gassed him after one more year, I think, and they fired
him. I think it was, yeah. We had him on the podcast. It was interesting because he claims anyways, he was smart. He went to management and said, listen, if you want me to make these moves, I'll do it. And certainly increase our chance to win the cup. But we're going to pay for this down the road because we're giving up the good young players, the Doug Waits and the Tony Amontes and those guys. So they did. And again, it's New York. I mean, it's not St. Louis or someplace. No. It's the pressure's on to win all the time. So, and at least, I mean, again, there's the whole business part of it too. It's selling season seats, MSG network. So if you don't have an attractive product, it's
hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they have such a strong fan base. I mean, I don't think it's ever as bad as they can get.
Yeah.
It's not like other markets that are smaller markets. And if you don't have product, they're not going to come out. But
yeah, it's not like financially the Rangers or MSG is going to be hurt because the team doesn't win the playoffs. They would rather they make the playoffs, but and the organization is not going to fall apart because of that. So,
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the offseason for sure.
Yeah. Ron, our buddy Ron Jameson, the magical veteran up in Buffalo. How many goals are you away, Tom? Okay, yeah. Let's remember though. So I had some flashbacks this weekend because so when Wayne Gretzky tied Gordie Howe's point total for most points in history, Wayne Gretzky passed to Tom Laidlaw. Tom Laidlaw passed to Bernie Nichols. That tied the record. So I was there, and then later on that game, so I was there for the same situation Ovi was when Wayne broke the record. So
that's awesome.
So it was cool to be part of that. I've gotten to be friends with Jeff Chikrin, so I texted him during the game. You know, because his son obviously now is part of this whole history that's going on. So,
where did Jeff play? Mostly Philly and Washington, right? Did he play
for Washington too? I
for some reason, or Carolina maybe.
Maybe it was, yeah.
Carolina.
I tell you, he was a very interesting guy because he played. His job was to be a big meathead, beat people up. Really intelligent guy, though. Very thoughtful, great family.
Well, some of the guys, I mean, Stu Grimson, that guy.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Then there's some guys that's what they are.
That's an interesting take here. Neil Smith's biggest mistake was hiring John Muckler.
Oh, you're not kidding, brother.
Oh, really?
Oh, well, I mean, he had an attitude. I mean, remember what he said about Manny Malhotra? Like, you just ruined the kid. You draft the kid. I think he was 6th overall that year.
Yeah.
6th or 7th over. And he said, and he told him in camp, you're going to be, or whatever, early on, you're going to be a third liner at best. So just crush the kid, why don't you? And then he sends Johnny Mack up to remember when he sent John McClain in the old International League? He sent him up to Manitoba.
That's right.
And then he said in public, McClain, the laziest hockey player I ever coached. Yeah, I mean,
there's sometimes let's give him credit. Do you think now again? I'm not saying this is true, but there's sometimes people do that to motivate the player. Do you think that's?
I don't know how much motivation I get being sent to Manitoba. I'd probably want to kill people.
I know.
No, nothing against Manitoba, but you go from New York City to
just being in the NHL and Johnny, did he win cups or with Devils? Did he win?
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
See what our buddy Ira Matthews got to say. Say they won the cup for the Rangers with his awful trade. Say they won the cup for the Rangers with his awful. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe he was setting up his greasing the wheels to make the move to New York.
Hold on. Now, people may not recognize what a big deal this is about that you're about to see. So you do know Walt Kyle was an assistant coach with the New York Rangers. I played with Walt, but the bigger part of that was his incredible brother, John Kyle.
Yeah.
One of these days.
That's it. Yeah. That's exactly what it was, John. Yeah.
John Kyle Jr. Oh, yeah. Okay. So as you know, I can be a little stubborn in my life. But there's very few people that could really make me do things like it. And John and I were great friends. I didn't know, like for years, we would be out to a bar and he would say to me, "Hey, Lades, that girl over there, she wants you bad. She told me she wants you bad." He never would have talked to the girl, but he would convince me that she wants. So I would be so confident. I'd walk over to the girl, like, "Okay, you want me?" Like with that attitude. And I'd always end up with the girl. And I didn't know this for years. I always thought it's because I'm this great person. Meantime, it's John convincing me that I'm the king of the world.
See, that's all it takes is a little mental reinforcement.
He's one of the few people that could really, again, like as stubborn as I am. We were talking the other day. So people that don't know, Michigan is the Upper Peninsula, the Lower Peninsula. And between the two is the Mackinac Bridge. Mackinac or Mackinac? I think it's Mackinac Bridge. And it's a long bridge. And I have a concern when it comes to heights. We don't want to say it's a fear. We have a concern. So he reminded me how much I hated going across that bridge. He said it was hilarious because here's one of the toughest guys that ever played in the Central Collegiate Hockey Association, powering in the fetal position in the back seat. Going over
Mommy.
Oh, when he said that, I was dying laughing because it was true. I just,
I tell you what, I got to spend a year with Walt in New York, and he was just a great guy.
Yeah.
So I imagine John's the same.
Yeah, totally are. Yeah. We were. They helped me a lot in my life and my career. Like they were really, at a real important time. So John came in my second year, and then Walt came in my third year at college. And again, both like that. Really they were like the John Wayne kind of. In fact, I was like a Clint Eastwood fan. They go, Clint Eastwood, John Wayne's where it's at, and then that whole lifestyle, that whole kind of like quotes and that kind of stuff. Yeah, we had a blast.
Walt was awesome. And in fact, there was a kid that played junior for me down here, Brian Stewart, that ended up playing goal for Walt up in Northern Michigan. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Real good.
Walt was good recruiter too. Walt was really good. Oh,
yeah.
He's a gift for the gab. Let me see here. What do we got here going on? I'm not laying blame on Lavalette, but he has to go on jury.
Yeah. I mean,
I know whether they're at fault or not, when this kind of stuff happens.
Can't fire the players.
Yeah. I know.
He just seems emotionless on the bench. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe that's just his thing. Like
Lavalette?
Yeah.
I get the sense he, as a coach, wants to be able to coach and make a difference. I don't get the sense he can make a difference with these guys.
That could be the yeah.
So I mean, he's probably sitting there saying, and he's probably not trying to, but he's going, guys, you can ask me questions all you want. We can
do what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
That's when you need, I hate to say it, some maniac like Tortorella to come in.
Yeah, but I gotta feel I hate to say it like this because I know them all, but like if I've met Kreider and we're somewhat friendly, tremendous person, right? Mm-hmm. But you just kind of wonder, like, there's something gone on, like the mannerisms, the way they conduct themselves. There's like it's something to the point where they just are they're pissed or whatever.
Yeah, something's amiss for sure.
Yeah.
The problem is so when you talk about coaching in the NHL now, it's a young league.
Yeah.
Right? Every kid has got a social media, right? It's a different world they live in. And how do you coach those guys? It's got to be hard. I mean, ice time is the only thing you can control.
I believe that's a great question. I think you're more of a you're managing people's egos.
Yeah.
And every player, and I'd be the same way too, is their own little business, right? So like if you got a guy like Panarin's making what $11.5 million a year, it's you're realizing that okay, he's an industry on himself. Like back when we played, I don't think our whole salary in a year was $11 million. I know it wasn't. So it's a great question by you. I don't know how you.
So if you look at a guy like him who's got incredible skill set, and maybe there's a game or twice he's going east to west, which he likes to do with the passing, that they get picked off and it ends up in a net. Yeah. Do you say anything? Because he knows what happened. It's not like he doesn't know what happened, but that's his game.
Right. And at the same time, you don't want him to stop making creative plays.
Right. Being who he is.
Because if you get Panarin to play like I would have been forced to play, like get it up the boards, then Panarin's really not Panarin, right?
I think Ken Hitchcock, who guys have. I was listening to some of on Spit and Chick was talking about when they played for him, but he did a thing. I'll try to find it. It was on YouTube. It was like 45-minute long thing. He may have done it for USA Hockey. I don't know who he was presenting to, but where he said coaching today, the player today.
Yeah.
In fact, it was a while back. He said coaching the millennial. What are we on, Gen X, Z, or whatever now? Yeah. But anyhow, what he said is, you can't like, so if you go east-west, it gets picked off in the net. When a guy comes to the bench, you can't get on and say, hey, man, what are you doing? You let it go. And then when he makes a play, you say, hey, man, I'm going to need you to do that again in the third period. So it's more about positive reinforcement.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, because guys know when to make a mistake. I mean,
Yeah, you're right. If he's a player that shows that he really is putting himself ahead of the team and he's just making stupid plays, well, then you've got to address it. Yeah. But if it's a guy that's getting paid to produce and he's trying to make plays, I mean, I've talked about this several times, but playing with Larry Robinson, who I just adored, and he would pass that puck up the middle of the ice, coming through his own zone, and I'm going, oh my God,
hold on,
and it would get picked off sometimes. But to his credit, he was Larry Robinson. He needed next shift, he'd go out and do. He would force himself to do the same thing all over again. Right?
Imagine him today without a red line, what he could do.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Big Bird. Yeah. He was funny. He was a good guy. Let me see here. We got here. Let me see here. What do we got to say here that's interesting from some of these magical people? Laidlaw made the decision that Pepper had to go. Yeah, Pepper's long gone. What do we got? Let's pick on some Condor Miller here. It makes it brutal to every guy. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is, and the problem with that is, Brendan, I wouldn't say you're wrong there either. The problem becomes you're kind of reinforcing bad play, right? You're saying, okay, you can make those plays and you're still good. Now,
right.
Maybe it's also we need to play him. He's like, because he really is skill wise, he is a tremendous player.
I mean, Fox is really struggling.
Yeah, especially from a guy that won the Norris Trophy in the past.
Maybe that's probably the worst thing that happened to him.
Yeah. Who's the young? Was it Gothenburg in Philly?
Yes.
Is that his name? Came up as a young player, was fantastic, and since then it's died. Right. So,
Yeah, I mean, the you don't see that. There's some players like Carlson and the kid in Washington. What's his name? Or in Pittsburgh, Letang.
Oh
yeah, they have a long history of really playing well.
Yeah,
you just don't see that on the blue line that much anymore because I think the game is so fast now.
Yeah,
it's so hard for these guys to really be, especially a guy who's offensively talented like Fox, who sees the ice as a great stick, has a high IQ, but you notice on the D side of the blue line, he's really, really struggling.
Yeah, like the one thing, it's amazing because he's not a bad skater, but he's not an outstanding. He's not like Cale Makar, right? And Makar is an incredible skater. So for Fox to be able to do what he's done offensively with just being a good skater, but then it hurts him defensively, right? Because he's not a good enough skater to get back.
And Cale Makar is he's an interesting story. I mean, the kid played at UMass Amherst.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's arguably the best defenseman in the league for
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a scary team right now.
Oh, totally. Tell me, what point in your career as a player did you realize you would not be able to catch Gretzky? Yeah, you know what? Right to the end, I battled. I said, I'm going to catch him. I'll tell you what, though, it did bring back some memories. And I saw the video a few times because of all the stuff. So I'm on the ice when Wayne tied Gordie Howe for points. He passed to me. I passed to Bernie. And it brings back the memories. So, like, I can envision, like, the whole play. Like, I remember because Yuri Curry's out at the point covering me. They pass the puck to me. I pass it down to Wayne as quick as I can. And then I can see that Yuri Curry's not paying attention to me. So I slide down into the slot. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's the right play, Tom. But now I'm thinking, okay, now I'm going to get the puck.
Now what?
It's Wayne. Dude, it was the funniest feeling. Oh, I swear, I can just vision the whole thing right now, looking up and realizing there's nobody around me. And I'm looking up at the goaltender. I think it was Ranford, I think. And it's hilarious. You have been trying to laugh because you're inside my head. I'm going into panic mode. It's like, oh my God, what do I do? And the pass I made to Bernie he was even off farther to the side of the net than I remember. And again, he scored 70 goals that year, so he was able to tip it in and score. But it's funny.
But sometimes those passes you make, like, I don't want to say nerves, but turn out to be a great play.
Oh, I know. It's true. Because I didn't think. Like, I reacted. Like, it was a split second. Like, I don't want this thing. I don't care where I am. Get it to Bernie.
Yeah.
And he scored. And then when he used to look at it, it looks like a real good play too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and it was a good play, but
God, funny stuff.
You stepped out of your comfort zone into another universe.
Yeah. Oh, was I ever? Yes, you're right. That's a good point. I was in another universe again. Oh, was I ever? Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Good call by you. Very good call. Let me see here. Do you think? That's honest to God, we joke around, Danny, but I think that is a really good question because I think
it's like 27-ish, 20.
Yeah, right up there. He's played 4 or 5 years now. Right? I think at some point you say to yourself, okay, this is what the player is, pretty much. Especially I think as defenseman, once you reach that 24 or 25-year-old range. And then you say, okay, because again, now we watch him all the time. Like if some other fan of another team watches him, they go, wow, that he's big, he can skate, he's on a power play, he kills penalties. He's not a bad player. But because we've seen all the mistakes all the time, that's what we see.
Right.
So you see, what you should do as a coach and a general manager, you say, all right, so here's what he can do and here's what he can't do. So can we live with what he can't do because of all the other things he brings to the table? And clearly that's who he is. There's no what he is now is what he is. And clearly they obviously think he's a pretty good player getting the ice time that he's getting.
I think that a big difference too is when you played, you were an exception to the rule. But most guys had to play at least 2 years in the American League on the blue line, especially before they got a sniff at playing up. Yeah. Just because it's it's the pro game, it's different, and now they throw these. I mean, how many look Buffalo? They get like a.
Oh, I know. And even look at the Chicago again, running the risk where you got Bedard, this great player. Now he'll come out of it just like McDavid did, because the same thing happened in Edmonton where he had nothing around him, no leadership around him, right? And I don't think people always remember. It's surprising sometimes with management how they don't recognize how much good leaders around those young players really mean, like how to be a professional player. in all ways. Listen, have fun with the sport. It isn't like Bedard losing his mind on the bench and breaking sticks and stuff. Listen, you love that he cares so much, but you can't play that way. And again, he'll come out of that. But
yeah. Well, that goes back to our earlier point, Gretzky and Lafleur being at the rink at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. They love playing. They really loved everything about hockey.
Love being at the rink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I would get to the rink and I get a full sweat going at the rink. I just couldn't wait to get in that locker room with the guys and hang out and do something stupid. Yeah.
Everybody loves just jumping on that fresh sheet, like.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the joking around too, like the fun stuff, like shooting pucks at people's feet and everything like that, and getting the goalies mad, and oh gosh, some of the stuff. I know I've told this story so many times, but breaking Mike Rogers or sawing Mike Rogers sticks, like that kind of stuff would just be. I honest to God, like I would be in a full sweat, just so like excited about.
If anybody hasn't seen it, go to YouTube and Tom Laidlaw, The Practical Joke.
Oh, that's funny stuff. Yeah. How's the Magical Beth doing?
She's doing well. Yeah, doing well. Yeah.
Yes. Very cool. And we were talking. I don't think we talked about this before we were on. You had a great video there training a couple of cops. Mm-hmm. Mark does a lot of that stuff, and I think Mark and I are both in the same boat. And I'll let you speak to it too. We totally support the police, but we realize, in fairness, they're not getting all the training they need. So that's interesting that now you have to step in, or have to, or luckily you're there for them. So
yeah, and they're cadets. They're right now in the NYPD Academy. And it's interesting. I didn't realize this, but they're doing a 3 to midnight shift at the academy.
Oh,
so I guess their idea is, but anyhow, they go to DT, which is defensive tactics class, and there's 600 cadets in there.
Man.
So really, how much are they absorbing? Very little. And to their credit, they got to me through another former NYPD guy training. He's now a federal agent. They happen to know him, and anyhow, they're training with me now, and I can show them what I know. And I told them, I said, listen, I want you to learn this stuff, but I want you guys, if you end up in the same precinct together or not, before you put your stuff on, 20 minutes, just pick one part of what I'm teaching you and just keep going over and over, even after you're on the job, because a lot of guys go through the academy, and that's where it ends. Like in terms of anything else that's not part of their daily routine.
Right.
And like everything else, if you don't practice, those skills go away.
And in reality, I guess in most careers for a cop, they very rarely have to pull their weapon or have a
So most people don't know this, but if you do discharge your weapon, they'll bring you in and they'll automatically offer a retirement deal to you. Because they know what potentially the psychological.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Some guys take it, some guys don't. It depends on how they feel about things. But, and depending where you are, if you're in New York City, chances are probably higher that you're going to get into something. Right. But, they have rules of engagement. There's things they can do and they cannot do. So there's certain things I could show them that they would never be able to use, like but there's a lot of stuff I can't show them that'll.
Sure.
And the whole point I say, listen, I want you to go home. I want the perp to go to jail, not to the graveyard,
right,
and to avoid litigation here. And those are the 3 reasons and keep the public safe. So, everybody says, just pull your gun out. Well, you put your gun out in Times Square, you got people all over the place. So it's not set that easy of a thing to accomplish.
Yeah. Let me see here. Ira Matthew, Laffy is a bust.
I don't know. Yeah. Another guy with so much talent.
Well, and it actually, I hate to admit it, but Ira brings up a good point. So if you go back 3 or 4 years ago, so you had Lafreniere, Kakko, and Chytil. Mm-hmm. And you're thinking, okay, this is the future of the New York Rangers. And at that time you think, wow, if these guys develop, this team's got a great future ahead of them. And now you look at all 3 of those kids, 2 of them are gone, and one is not really playing up to snuff, right? So,
but if you look at Kakko, I think for both the Devils and the Rangers, Jack Hughes just looks like he's always going to be hurt.
I know.
Was
Kakko number 2? Jack Hughes was 1 and Kakko was 2.
Kakko was 2. Yeah.
So that's even worse, right? You see a kid playing as well. Mm-hmm. The Quinn Hughes, the defenseman, man, he's huge.
God. Wow. Yeah. When they were in town last week,
Yeah.
He ran it. Yeah.
Scary. The good young players in the league too. That's the amazing thing. These kids.
Exciting.
Yeah.
The skill set to have is just ridiculous. Yeah.
You know what I like too, like for the kids in Washington, to see the whole thing with Ovechkin and Gretzky and the way those guys conduct themselves, like the respect for the game, the respect for, like the commissioner gets booed all the time and everything, Gary Bettman, but he's taken the league from I think it was like 750 million when he started. Now it's over $6 billion industry. The players are all making way more money. The game is
a lot more TV coverage now than ever before.
You know, the outdoor games, the Olympics, all the stuff the guys get to. So like seeing that, listen, he's not the enemy. He has a job to do, but when you're around him, like treat him with respect. And I think that, you know.
And well, most of the people that don't like Bettman don't remember John Ziegler.
Yeah, that was a con game. Man, that was he and Alan Eagleson.
Alan Eagleson, yeah.
So I think that's a great thing that those guys see. And even so, who was in town when he got the tying point? Who was that? On Friday night, who was watching?
I don't remember.
Yeah, but even those guys, and then the Islanders to see that whole scene, you know, and how everybody. You know, it was good too. Gretz was in the locker room after the Friday night game, and the kid who scored the empty net goal was his first goal. And Gretz called the kid out in public, or in front of the rest of the team, and shook his hand and everything. He said, "Congratulations!" The look in the kid's face was like, "Are you kidding me?" Wayne Gretzky's congratulating me in the locker room, so that was pretty good. Yeah,
he's so good for the game. He really is.
Yeah. You know. Yeah, and again, I think people are getting a view that I was fortunate enough to see that's how he's always conducted himself. The way he feels like he's a spokesperson for the league. The league is so important. The league gave him so much. He's giving it back to. So
I was really fortunate. The year I was with New York, it was Olympic year, and Rammer was the trainer for Team Canada. And we were in LA, and Gretz came in after the morning skate and spent some time with us and took us to lunch. And it was just pretty cool. I mean, but the thing about Wayne is, like, he just comes in, hey, how you guys doing? You know, Rammer, like, no, look at who I am, kind of thing.
Let me see this here. Were you on the team when JD gave his car to a valet parker only to find out the restaurant didn't have? I didn't know that story. That's a new one. I haven't heard that.
That's a good one.
That is good. Is that true story, Mark? Have you heard that?
I don't know, but that's pretty funny. Yeah,
it is good.
I could say
that. Yeah, we'll go with it. Whether it's true or not, let's just go with it.
Let's ride with it.
Yeah. I was at so a few things. We had our skate with a great event on Thursday at Chelsea Piers for Ronald McDonald's house, which was great. Every year they bring in a person, young boy or girl that's at Ronald McDonald House, and their family is very emotional to get up and speak. Last year was great. They had this young girl there, and she was great. She was maybe 7 or 8 years old, and she didn't want to get off the stage. She was having fun talking and everything. This year we didn't find out until after. They had a young boy that was honored. He couldn't. They said at the event he couldn't make it for some reason. We found out a couple of days later he'd passed away.
Oh.
So I view it from what I understand, the family didn't want to ruin the night, so which you got to admire. I mean, they lost their son.
Sure,
he still thought enough about Ramadan. So great event. I mean, it was packed. Again, Chelsea Piers. I think they raised well over $1 million. I think just that one night. Yeah, pretty cool.
Great stuff.
Yeah, a lot of fun. They had us. So there's a game before. Some of the alumni gets split. So Adam Graves, Brian Mullen, Stephen Matteau, who else? Colton Orr, Boo Nieves all played. Gresh coached one team, and with Eddie Hosper, I coached the other team. My team won.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
It's coaching.
God, again, I get so wired up. I was jabbing the other team. I'm giving them a hard time. But I said, listen, I told the guys, do not let Adam Graves score. No matter what you do, don't let him score.
How many did he get?
I don't think he got any, but he's a real, in the way he is, he's a real gentleman out there. Like he could probably score, but he's passing the puck up.
Yeah, he's passing the puck, sure.
Yeah. That's good. No, fun event. It's really a great event because you go to it. It's fun. Like a lot of the places we go, they have this sit down dinner, which is fine. It's great money, but this is so you have to hear speeches. I mean, this is more. There is no sit down dinner. They've got food and booze going on.
Yeah,
everybody's standing around. So it's a real fun event. They have, of course. So the ladies, once they've had a few cocktails, and that's the goal of it, then they get a little like, oh, Tom, please get your picture. So it's fun. But it's it's funny because you meet the person at the start of the night, and then later on the night they've had a few.
They're a different person.
It's all fun. It's a great cause, raising lots of money. So yes, it was good. And then I had another charity game for the Ronald McDonald House on Saturday. We had the White Plains Police Department play the White Plains Fire Department. At Rye Playland, where we used to practice.
Mm-hmm.
They raise about $50,000 every year too for it. So I coached on that game as well. Won that game as well too. Coached the police side of it.
They really fixed that rink up. I haven't been there.
Yes, it's gone. I think it's like the old locker room is kind of got a little bit more. Manhattanville College.
I was going to say Manhattanville plays.
Yeah. So it's not what it was, but yeah, it's been there. The problem they're having that whole facility, Playland. So people don't know what Playland is. It's Playland Park. So it's like rides and everything. They've had people go in there. What they need to do, people go in and spend some money on it to fix it up. It's really not. And there's it's a historic site. I think the rink is a historic site.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's certain limitations they have on it. So,
my dad used to, my grandmother, and this is back in the 30s, it was like a nickel to take the boat from, I don't know where they'd get it, from Jersey somewhere up to Rye.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And she'd pack lunches for she'd bring all the kids with her. So it goes back a long time. I don't know. Obviously, I don't think the rink was there yet,
but probably one of the highlights, the whole, like the event on Thursday and the event on, I'm sorry, again, helping Ronald McDonald House and everything. But I was approached several times, people like the joy and knowledge they're getting off us, just our discussions on pooping and all that encompasses.
I had a funny feeling that was going to be the main topic.
Yeah. It really made me,
validates your whole.
We're making a difference in the world. Yeah. With their pooping discussions. Yeah. Okay, here's one for you. I, as you and I both are the same way, I'm trying to get a little bit more red meat, some lean red meat into me.
And I want to talk to you about that.
Definitely. I had run out of eggs the other day, wanted to make some patties. So I went without the eggs, thinking, okay, I don't need that. Realize that you do. Your patty falls apart without the egg. But if you look it up, I guess there's some like he could soak up some chia seeds and put those in. That works as a binding agent as well. Interesting.
Yeah, so the red meat thing. So
yeah,
been eating a ton of red meat, right?
So hold on. Let me think here. So when I was telling my story about not using the eggs, you weren't paying attention at all.
Oh yeah, I was.
No, you wanted to get to your story about the red meat.
Well, kind of, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, so I had a physical, and I was like, all right, what's my cholesterol going to be? See if it went up.
Right.
It didn't, but the only thing that went up was HDL, which is the high density.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is you're in Beth have been eating red meat pretty much like every night.
Probably at least 5 to 6 nights a week.
Right. Yeah. So you had in the past had maybe stayed away from as much red meat. Now I believe
you eat a lot more chicken.
Good for you.
Yeah. And the good cholesterol went up. So. Because every morning I have 3 eggs.
All right. So in the past, you maybe heard from somebody having a stroke or a heart attack, and doctors had claimed because they're eating too much red meat, it's clogging the arteries. So that theory is now gone away. Now is that
in some circles? Yeah. I mean, the numbers tell me
Right.
Let's not forget that. So my dad had cardiovascular disease, and the doctor put him on margarine, and it turns out margarine is the worst possible because of trans fatty acids.
Right.
Worst, you're better off just slamming down a whole stick of butter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
same thing. Butter now too isn't supposedly bad for you either, right?
No, not at all.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing how, and I guess that's just evolution, right? We learn new things, just how to study differently and everything, and things like eggs and butter.
And it's good that now we're starting to, you and I've been doing it for a while, but question really what they tell us. If you look at the food pyramid,
and like the whole hardening of the arteries and cardiovascular disease. Again, eating other foods that are good for that too. Like I like to take citrulline, but there's other foods that you can eat that can help.
Beets. If you like beets, are really good for you because it produces more nitric oxide, which opens up your blood flow. Yeah, I mean, again, you go to the grocery. 80% of what's on the shelves now didn't exist 100 years ago. 80%.
I know. Well, it's funny. Like you go into the Stop and Shop, for example, have one row that is healthy food.
Right.
Then you think to yourself, okay, what are the other rows then? There's anything else.
Just really crazy. And then, if you pick up a box of whatever cereal, all cereals.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
But you read the ingredients. It's like this long.
I know.
Sounds like a science experiment because
Isn't it true?
really what it is.
The other day I thought was pretty cool. They said if the list of ingredients is longer than 3 ingredients, then you should be eating it, right?
3 or less. Yeah.
No, I think 3 or more. 3 or more.
3 or more.
Yeah.
I say 3 or less. But anyway, I got looking at mustard. I needed to buy mustard.
I know.
Ago. And then I started reading. It's all has sugar in it. Wait.
No.
I think out of the whole thing there was 2 that did not have sugar in it.
I know. Yeah. How about Grey Poupon? I think is one of the best. I think, or maybe a lot of salt in Grey Poupon. I can't remember.
You just like the poo part of the word.
Oh, I know. Grey Poupon.
Yeah.
Grey Poupon.
Yeah.
Where those commercials go? Wasn't they have Grey
the car would roll up and
Grey Poupon.
got to be in a Bentley or
Poupon.
a Rolls Royce. Yeah.
Grey Poupon. What if that's a real name? Like if that, I should look that up. Is that a real name? Like Poupon?
Well, Haagen-Dazs they just made up. Yeah.
I know. That's it. That's a great one. If you're around someplace, you want to do a trivia question. Like, what does Haagen-Dazs mean?
Yep. Right. Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Oh, Trivia Pursuit.
Yeah. That was a big game for a while.
Man, that was hot. It's amazing how that was the big thing for a while, right?
For a couple of years. Yeah.
You don't ever hear that anymore.
No.
It wasn't invented by a Canadian as well, I think.
I think you're right. That's a good question to be in Trivial Pursuit.
Good point.
Yeah.
Where was the Trivia Pursuit game invented?
Yeah.
What would be the all-time favorite board game? Monopoly, you think, or what?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Would you consider
Candyland comes in strong second.
Candyland? Oh. I don't think I ever played Candyland.
Yeah, I think it's ages 2 to 4.
What about the other one where they'd have a dice in the middle, like underneath a little bit of a dome?
A bubble, right? You hit that.
You had to push the bubble. What was that game?
Then, Oh, what was that called? I forget. Yeah.
That was a pretty good game too. Yeah.
Mousetrap.
Yeah. So is backgammon considered a board game then?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. That was a good game too, right?
It's a cool game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to be a little bit more intelligent for that.
Well, you used to get the chessboard back in.
Yeah, it gives the impression like you're more suave, right?
Smarter, man. It's a dumb guy's chess game.
Yeah, dumb guy's chess. Okay, our boy. Oh, is this a new guy here? Our boy. Hold on. Where is he? Oh no. Trouble. Oh, but hold on. Nick got
Trouble was the bubble.
Yes, trouble with the bubble. Nick Lavia. Do we know Nick?
Yeah. One of the New Jersey Warriors. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Hi, Nick.
Yeah.
Have we met him before?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
oh, he's been on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And he's been on the show before?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh God, where have I been? Yeah.
Pooping.
Speaking of Putin, so we got Alex Ovechkin doing all this stuff. He's a huge supporter of Putin. I've seen a couple of people try to bring the whole politics into it. And
Dominic Hasek did.
Oh, did he?
Oh yeah, he badmouthed them really hard.
Through Ovechkin?
Ovechkin, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just yesterday or the day before. Yeah.
And because of his association with Putin?
Yep.
Wow, interesting. Some people speculate that the war will end in Ukraine because Putin will want the Russian team to be able to play in the Olympics.
They're good. He's good. He scored 9 goals in a game once.
Who's that?
Putin.
Putin did?
Yeah.
Putin. What a name.
Putin. You forget what you're doing for a minute. You slash him or something. Just out of reflex.
You don't make it out of the locker room. You're dead.
Yeah.
The
whole family disappears.
And I'm sure they're taking the best and the worst. I've seen some videos recently of subways here in the U.S., New York subway, how dirty it is, and then they show subways in Moscow and everything, how clean they are. Now, again, I'm sure they're making sure they take the best pictures of.
They put one in your head if you litter. That's why.
Yeah. Let me see here. Let me see the great Deb. Okay. Hold on. Should we call her a secret agent? So what do we call Suzanne Brooks? Susan Brooks, what do we call her? Wonder Woman?
She's Wonder Woman. Deb can be
super spy. Or like double agent. She's a double agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Debbie agent.
Debbie agent. Nice. I like it. Check out salad dressings between the sugar and the awful.
They're just all high fructose corn syrup, ketchup too. I mean, there's they show a Heinz bottle and they show the amount of sugar. It's like half.
I know.
Yeah.
As you know, I make my own ketchup. Oh, tasty too.
Yeah.
Take some tomatoes, put whatever you want in it. I put capers in there, onions.
Remember the little packets in school?
Apple cider vinegar. What?
The packets, mustard and ketchup packets in school?
No, we're talking about homemade ketchup.
No, but I'm saying, do you remember? Did you have them in Canada?
I'm still talking about my homemade ketchup.
Okay.
Jeez, can you give me a second here to brag about my homemade ketchup? Yes, I do remember little packets. What a pain in the butt, though. You got to rip.
No, but you put them on a table. You do that, and you get to
go
across the room.
Or step on it too, right? Put it on the floor.
Yeah. The butter pat. Remember the butter pats?
Oh yeah.
Like throw them up in the ceiling, and they'd stick, and then an hour later they start raining on the kids down.
So here's a little known fact. I saw a video. You get the butter packs. I guess obviously it has to be melted a little bit. You poke like a toothpick hole, and then you squirt out the mustard, the ketchup, the butter inside, so you don't have to just squirt it.
I like that. Yeah.
The other I saw with a lemon, it's the same thing. You take a toothpick, poke a hole right in the top there with that little nipple. Is that called a nipple?
I believe it is.
Right, because it is nip. I mean,
yeah.
So either that was the original nipple, and then they made the women's or men and women's nipples after that, or
just they're a little sour.
So who do you think was the male, or excuse me, the human species nipple came first, or the lemon nipple came first?
I'm going to say lemon.
And then somebody said, "Hey, that thing on your chest looks like a lemon nipple."
I think that occurred in Mesopotamia.
Back in what like 100 DC or BC or
whatever it was.
Right.
ACDC. Yeah.
ACDC. That's true, right? Because they're both called the nipple.
Yeah.
Right. One of them had to come first.
Well, yeah. Chicken.
The chicken or the egg?
I'll have to Google it later.
What, the nipple thing?
Yeah.
It is kind of one of those things that people will be like all week long now until next week. They'll be going like, okay, I can't wait till next week so we can figure out really which nipple
just
first.
Make them come back.
Right. Okay, good game shows. Okay, Family Feud. Family Feud's good. I like that. Yeah. The new guy's pretty good too. What's his name? Steve
Harvey.
He's good. He's got good. So if somebody says something stupid, his reaction is pretty. Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna show our age with Dating Game.
Yeah. Dating Game is good.
Of course, our Newlywed Game.
Newlywed was great too. Yeah. Now, for years, it was the lore was the one woman was asked, "Where's your favorite place? Where's your husband's favorite place to make whoopee?" She said, "In the butt." Now, the host of the show claims that's not true. It was never said.
I don't know. I kind of remember it.
I thought I did too. Yeah,
maybe it's the Mandela effect.
Because she said, I thought the quote was "in the butt, Bob." So for years, if we were asked the question, we would go "in the butt, Bob."
Yeah. They had reruns on one of the games, and I didn't realize it till now. He was kind of a wise ass.
Oh yeah. Oh totally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like really trying to, especially with the women, like trying to make them like that.
Yeah.
Hollywood Squares was good too, right?
Like
tic-tac-toe thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That was great.
Oh, that was good. Yeah. You can tell they knew what the question was coming, but still. Yeah, they were very good. That was funny. Who was the other one? Were the two people together and they had to guess what the other person was saying? They're sitting there. Password. Oh, that was a good one too.
You know what's amazing about those shows? They were really popular. I mean, there were some people that they didn't do anything else. They were just game show contestants, not contestants, but celebrities. That's pretty much all they did. They didn't do any other work.
Yeah. That's right. There is no new game shows now, right? I mean, there's.
It's not a big thing for quite a while now.
Yeah. What's the one where they have to guess the prices of things? What's that? The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Price is Right. I guess Ron Duguay dated girls that were pretty hot on the Price is Right many years ago.
Oh, really? Yeah, they were there for years.
Remember there's the two of them that were.
Yeah, blonde girl and a brunette.
Yeah, he dated one. I think he probably the blonde, but
probably the blonde.
God.
I'm gonna say.
What other game shows are good? That's right. Susan Brooks, Wonder Woman here. Hold on. I forgot about this. Of course, she would bring this up. Dennis the Menace passed away.
Yes, he did. Yeah. He's young. He's like 72.
Yeah. Who else passed away? So we also lost, who was the actor? He was on
Val Kilmer.
Yeah. Yeah. Deb Spy likes her nickname, so Deb Spy.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
How about Flushing? Let me see here. How about Flushing and an M80 down? What? Jesus, Danny. What is that? How do you come up with that?
Oh, caused a problem.
Yeah. M80. Yeah. That's just a firework, right? Isn't M80 a firework?
It's a quarter stick of dynamite, yeah.
Oh, so Brendan does confirm that it's on YouTube. So yes, I thought you're right.
What's he confirming?
I believe it's in the butt bump.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some funny answers on that, like the
about the beauty pageant contestant. It was a really famous one, and she's now like a housewife. She's followed up on it. She goes, "Oh my god, I was so nervous."
Oh,
and it was Mario Lopez, you know, the kid that was on that the kid show for something to do with school.
I remember Mario Lopez, yeah.
But he was the MC, and it was famous. I'll send it to you later. She was a really pretty blonde girl from like Carolina or something, one of the Carolinas, and her answer was just like, "Oh God, good thing you're good looking, honey." But, yeah, but she, you know, she was just a kid and she was nervous because they did a follow-up on YouTube. I'll have to find it. And she's like, yeah, that was pretty.
What I saw recently, a replay was, is your husband more urban or rural?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. And the woman goes, oh, he's more urban. In fact, and the guy, and to your point, the host then would follow up and say, like, does he go to the doctor for that? And she goes, oh, yeah, he goes to the doctor for that. So it's pretty funny. There is no, like, now we got The View instead. Like all these talk shows. That's right. Like, think of the old shows you could watch during the day, right? Like fun game shows. Now you're watching
Concentration.
Yeah, Concentration. What was that one?
It was like a grid, and you got to connect the numbers.
Oh yeah.
And then it would reveal a clue, and you.
Oh, hold on. Who do you think had said the same thing just at the same time you were saying that? The great Barry Shelley.
Well, of course, we're like, see, there's quantum entanglement between Barry and I.
When's that? He's up in Cooperstown.
He's up in Cooperstown. I'm here, but we're on the same wavelength. Always.
How you doing there, brother? I heard, is he all healthy now and everything? Or
I hope so, yeah, because he's a good man. Because we need him to be healthy.
I was just going to say, we cannot survive without our Barry Shelley, great veteran there. Let me see what Susan, deal or no deal? Oh, that's a deal.
Yeah, that was cool. And then, of course, Monty Hall.
Monty Hall, what was
Canadian?
Monty Hall, what was he on?
What was the name? It was a famous show. What's door number 1, 2, or 3?
Oh yes, the different doors. Yeah.
What the heck was the name of that show?
What has happened? Think of all that. They're like all the great game shows that were fun to watch, and now we're stuck watching The View. Oh, and others too. I don't mean to just pick on The View, but man,
there's a lot of bad ones out there. Yeah.
Was that?
But yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff. There's no game shows. I mean, there are, but like
they were fun. Yeah. Oh my God.
They're huge hits.
Yeah.
What's the one with Monty Hall? I can't believe we can't think of it. It was one of the most famous shows too.
That's the one with the different doors. Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck was that?
Oh, somebody will come up with that. Let's Make a Deal. Is it Let's Make a Deal?
Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's right. Susan came up with it. Danny Harrison came up with it.
Yeah.
Barry did. Yeah.
And then of course the Gong Show. There's a classic.
Oh, the Gong Show.
Yeah.
What was the premise of that one again?
I remember it was just how stupid you could be with whatever and they would vote.
Oh, was that the guy? Like, didn't have the short little guy with the hair?
Chuck Barris. Yeah, he said legitimately that he was an agent for the CIA.
Yes, that's right.
And they made a film. Sam Rockwell was in it. It's a pretty good movie.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Let me see.
He's a good actor, Sam Rockwell.
It's still on. So Let's Make a Deal is still on.
No, that's. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Let's Make a Deal. Wayne Brady.
Oh.
Yeah. Chuck Barris.
Chuck Barris.
What was his middle initial?
Chuck Barris. I don't know.
No, middle initial.
I don't know.
M.
Chuck M. Barris.
Yeah.
M. Barris. I like it. Okay. I was going with Bare Ass.
Yeah, well,
more the poop guy.
You go right there. Poop guy.
Oh God, that's true. You think about the past. I remember if I was sick from school, I'd stay home and watch stuff all the time. You know, there's a guy, I can't remember his name now, an older gentleman, really distinguished kind of guy on some game show. And I was home from school one time. My mother made me pea soup so I was eating pea soup and watching this guy. So whenever I see this guy or hear his name, I smell.
You think of pea soup, yeah.
Pea soup. Do you ever eat pea soup?
I love it.
Oh, put some crackers in there with the pea soup.
Yeah.
Oh man, what would be your best, anytime, kid growing up or whatever? What's the best soup?
Pea soup's right up there. I like legitimate tomato soup.
Yeah, yes.
That's good.
With a grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh, please. That's
no, you would never. Would you dip the grilled cheese in the soup?
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, would you? Oh,
yeah. Well, I'm from Jersey, man. That's like sauce.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. That was every snow day. If you had a snow day, I know you don't know if those are in Canada, but down here we get the day off from school. And it was always grilled cheese and soup. You're playing out in the yard, playing football in the snow, wherever you come in and have that.
Yeah. A good, a nice, chicken noodle soup would be good too.
Yeah, that's good. But I really hierarchy pea soup, tomato soup, and then either lentil or like a navy bean.
Yeah. What we got here? So Gene, the dancing machine. Who's that?
Yeah, the Gong Show.
Oh,
the black dude that would come out and was dancing. Yeah, that was his whole thing. He was like co-host kind of thing.
Man, mention those days. Much of the funny shows, like you can sit there and watch.
And that show in particular was really raunchy.
Okay, so people were enjoying life, they're laughing over, and now we're watching
because they didn't have CNN and NBC and Fox back then. To make us all hate everything. We need to call Elon Musk. Yeah, bring back the game shows.
Yeah. God, they're poisoning our minds here. I think Monty Hall was on a Rangers telecast.
Could be, yeah. He was Canadian, yeah. And of course, Alex Trebek. Did you ever skate with him out in LA?
No, I never did.
Yeah, because he was one of those. I think his son skates.
Who's Gene Rayburn?
So he was the host of Match Game.
Oh, okay. Hold on here. Susan's following up here. The Match Game. Live for.
I don't know if Susan knows this, but I read an article about it. They used to film like 10 shows over a weekend. They would only work Saturday and Sunday.
Oh.
But they were drinking the whole time.
Oh.
Like they had vodka. And like to Susan's point, it got pretty raunchy and pretty Yeah. Yeah.
That's class. Think of isn't it funny though now? Like the difference of what we have on TV now.
I know. And that was a huge hit. I mean, Match Game, that was a huge it's still on all the reruns.
What would be you think of the biggest Match Game or biggest game show back then?
Well, I would say it would be Let's Make a Deal was huge. Concentration. Those are older.
Right.
The Price is Right. And the ones we mentioned, Match Game.
Yeah.
To Tell the Truth, if you even go earlier.
Yeah. Tell the truth. Yeah. Oh. God. What?
Yeah, a whole bunch of them. Password was huge.
Yeah.
And it was funny too, because like the hosts, like Alan Ludden, they'd be on Password, then be on another show. And there was only like 4 of them. They'd bounce around to Bert Convy with.
That's right. They're all doing the same shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing that, like sitting around getting drunk all day long and doing those shows. Yeah. That's hilarious.
And they're getting paid for it. It was a blast for them. And like I said, some of those people, that's all they maybe did a little bit of TV, and then they got on a game show and they kind of got a personality going. That's all they did was game show.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have a little bit of a problem here with Barry Shell. Tomato soup and egg salad was the best. Like an egg salad sandwich, obviously.
You can't dunk it though, Barry. See, down here in Jersey, we got to dunk.
Right. See, we would dump it only in ketchup. I would never dump it in tomato soup. I would dump it in the grilled cheese. Oh, now, okay, grilled cheese. Would you put butter on inside, outside, both?
I didn't make it. Mom made it, but she probably put it on the outside.
Yeah. Mm. Oh, I can taste it good.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible for you, right?
Did you ever make a grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Grill it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
I don't think I ever grilled it. How about, so my mother used to make peanut butter, mayonnaise, and lettuce sandwiches.
You know how to make a honeymoon salad?
I don't.
Lettuce alone.
Lettuce alone? I like it.
So what was that again? Go through that again.
Peanut butter, mayonnaise, and lettuce.
Really?
I think the theory was we didn't have a lot of money, and that was a full meal. Like that was a salad.
You got a healthy fat from the
protein. Yeah. And again, the bread was healthy back then.
And how was it though?
Love it. I still eat peanut butter mayonnaise now.
So I think you could put mayonnaise. My view, mayonnaise and peanut butter on anything. It's great.
Totally. Yeah. I made homemade sourdough bagels twice now. First batch came out unbelievable, nice shape, everything perfect. Second batch, you know what I think I do? I get cocky because there's certain steps you have to follow, and I'm like, screw this. I don't need to do this step, and then it doesn't turn out.
I've heard with baking or making bread, you got to do exactly what they tell you. Yeah,
I know
because it's science. It's yeast.
Yeah. But of course, you're the same way. This little mentality is screw the recipe.
It's like the models. Remember models, car models when you were a kid?
Oh yeah.
And they'd have this big thing you throw that out, take the glue, just.
How many times you have to take it apart and start all over again?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good call. I like that. That was definitely. Oh yeah. Read the instructions. Are you kidding me?
What is that for? That's for people that are stupid. Yeah. I got things to do. Let me put this thing together quick.
That's funny. That's a good call. JP Morgan was a judge on the show. It was fine.
She did. Yeah, she did. She used to flash everybody. And Barry, correct me if but that was pretty much her whole thing. She was just, I mean, she did some.
Isn't
she was
JP
a
Morgan an
singer.
investment? You invest money?
It's a different one. Yeah.
I couldn't even remember.
She wore like aviator glasses, pretty hot. I mean, she was like,
Oh, I
a
think
taller woman.
And she would flash everybody all the time?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, those shows were like,
oh, yeah,
a different time.
Oh, because like even as a kid, like you see your parents kind of giggling in the corner because they're saying all these things that we didn't get.
We didn't get it. Yeah. I mean, one of the most famous lines, and of course, I'm sure, like you said, it was scripted, but Arnold Palmer was on Johnny Carson, and Carson says, "Does your wife do anything to give you good luck before your, tournaments?" She kisses my balls, and then Carson, "I must make your putter stand straight up," or something like that.
Yeah.
And it really happened.
The funny ones, like the old cartoons, they would make some comments in the cartoons that were just like,
wasn't for kids. Yeah.
And how about like Star Trek? Like, what's his name? Who's the head of Star Trek there? The Canadian
Captain
guy.
Kirk.
Captain Kirk. He was always getting these hot. Like, what's it got to do with being in space? Like making out with these hot girls. Like he was always making out. Like
all of them.
Yeah. What's that got to do with being in space? Like we were supposed to kill aliens or something?
Well, he had Spock to run the ship, so he didn't really have to worry.
I get more about that. Can you do that? Like the Spock thing? Like I don't know, right? Nanu, what did you say? Nanu? Is that what it was?
No, that was Mork and Mindy.
Oh, Mork. But didn't Spock have something? He said it was his code.
Yes, well, something. Yeah, I can't remember.
Oh, that's funny.
I wasn't really a big Star Trek guy.
Nah, I wasn't either. Yeah,
I was more of a Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea kind of.
Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, look at all the great shows that used to be.
Yeah, the Time Tunnel. Remember that one?
Oh, and now we're watching all these new shows.
F-Troop.
Oh God.
F-Troop was. But that's because
MASH in that, or was that a little later? You think?
I wasn't a MASH guy.
Oh, really?
Never really. I just never. I mean.
Oh. See, we got together when it was my senior year in college. I think it was when the final show.
The final episode. Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But F-Troop was a great show.
Yeah.
But you only had 3 channels back then. NBC, CBS.
How about Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies? Yeah. Oh, man.
They were classic.
What the shows we used to have. Yeah. Now we're stuck with the garbage that's on now. No wonder. God.
Oh. I can't tell you the last time I've actually watched anything on regular TV, like a sitcom.
Oh, I know.
I can't even remember.
These sitcoms now, no disrespect. If somebody wants to watch them, that's totally up to them. Watch them. It's just,
The only one I watch on rerun, and say what you will about the guy, but it is pretty funny. It's 2.5 Men.
Yes. Oh.
They're
especially the earlier shows. As he got it kind of lost.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good.
The earlier ones. Yeah.
Oh God, funny. Like, and I think we're all kind of could like
live
that life. Jeopardy Real 4. Yes. Now those are 2 good back-to-back shows to watch tonight. Yeah.
You know who owned those shows?
Who?
And made bazillions of Merv Griffin.
Merv Griffin. He did that. He made a lot of money, right?
$1 gazillion. Yeah. And he sold it off to King Brothers, I think.
All right. Card Sharks, $10,000 pyramid. Yeah. Oh, man. This is bringing me. In fact, it kind of like one way it's good. It's kind of bringing me down. I'm thinking like where we're at now. Oh, the $10,000 pyramid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All-time favorite cartoon then. Popeye for me.
Yeah, Popeye was awesome.
Yeah.
And again, that's a classic.
We're strong to the finish because I eat much spinach.
About Minnie Mouse and
Minnie Mouse.
Cat something.
Yeah. Quick Draw McGraw.
Quick Draw McGraw.
I had a Quick Draw McGraw. No, I had a skunk doll when I was a kid. He used to take it to bed with me all the time.
Pepe Le Pew.
And I might have been Pepe. And I had a plastic face. Somehow I poked the eyeball out right before I was going to bed. And I'll never forget, I was losing my mind because I poked the eyeball out. So I made my parents promise they would get me another
eyeball or a skunk.
So they couldn't find another skunk, so they got me a Quick Draw McGraw. And I was not happy about that. I accepted the Quick Draw McGraw.
Under duress.
Exactly. Risk of going to jail, yeah. Oh, God.
How about, and then you have, which you don't see anymore ever, the Westerns. Everything was a Western back then.
I know, yeah.
Right?
Oh, Susan's coming up with some good ones here, and I'm missing some of them. The Big Bang Theory is exceptional. Oh, is that a show now, though, right?
Current, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. There's a few out there, but overall, I mean, there's so much media. There's so much not media, but so much content now. But
you didn't like Laughing. I thought Laughing was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of like a.
Yeah. What was the other one? There's Western kind of themed one with Western music.
Oh, Bonanza. I mean, you had tons of them.
No, but there's another funny show similar to Laugh-In. Did Laugh-In have Lily Tomlin? Was she on that?
Yeah.
Oh, was she a he or a she though? What, I can't remember.
She. Yeah, Lily. I mean, a lot of people started there. Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn, that's right.
Yeah, and then they always had guests, you know, like
Bob. Who were the two brothers? Were they the brothers on
Smothers Brothers?
Smothers Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Oh,
people, anybody that's younger listening and going, "What the hell are they talking?"
Oh, I know. Oh, totally. Yeah. Rocky and Bullwinkle were good.
Yeah, that was great.
Woody Woodpecker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scooby Doo. The Jetsons were good. Good call by Susan there.
Yeah.
The Jets. Here's George.
Flintstones, of course.
Here's George Jetson. His wife. Oh, God, that's funny.
Jane.
Yeah. The dog's name. The son was Elroy, wasn't it?
Yeah, Elroy. Elroy.
Yeah. Was that the dog or the son?
Yeah. The son was Elroy. The dog was, I forget his name.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
And then who was the boss? Mr. Spacely. Spacely Sprockets. Yeah.
The Flintstones were good.
Oh, they were awesome. Flintstones was the first primetime cartoon ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on Friday nights, like at 8. First primetime ever.
God.
Yeah.
So Fred and Barney and Wilma and
Betty.
So Fred was with Wilma, or Fred and Betty?
Fred and Wilma and
Betty and
Barney.
How about the Lucy? I Love Lucy show with Desi Arnaz and everything.
Yeah, I hated it.
You didn't like that?
Yeah, well, because I would get in battles with my mother because I wanted to watch cartoons, and that's when no.
Now, okay, so two shows for the same reason. I Dream of Jeannie and Gilligan's Island. Yeah, because the hot babes, right? Like right. So I Dream of Jeannie, she's got nothing on.
Fulfilled every little boy's fantasy.
No kidding, right? And then and what I liked of Gilligan's Island was you had a choice. You had the sophisticated one or the girls with the Daisy Dukes.
The girl next door. Yeah. I think the professor was getting a little busy with one of them.
Yeah, probably, right?
Yeah.
On the side.
Sure it wasn't Gilligan.
How about Gilligan? I see Gilligan, like he wouldn't know what's going on. So the older woman, the
Mrs. Howell.
Yeah, so I could see Mrs. Howell kind of hitting on Gilligan.
Might have been a little cougar action there.
Yeah. Like what's the old movie there?
Lolita. No, that's not.
No.
Mrs. Robinson. Yeah.
So kind of that same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Gilligan wouldn't know what's happening, and all of a sudden he's being abused. Yeah. Oh, God.
Flipper was a great show.
Flipper. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Flipper.
Yeah. Great show.
Oh, man. What has gone on with the world? This is bringing me down.
I know. Well,
it's lifting me up in one way. Thinking of the great movies.
You know some people in media. Why don't we start? I mean, I'm sure they've done it, but let's collect all these old shows and put them back on.
Oh, we're calling Elon Musk.
Let's call him. Yeah, forget this. We need to go to Mars.
We need the psyche of our planet.
We don't need to go to Mars. We need those shows back.
Yeah. That would do the mental health of our world, of our nation, the world would be much better off if we had those shows back on.
Well, you know, radio signals travel in space forever.
That's right.
So there's a possibility that there's a planet way, way out there that's sitting back watching I Dream of Jeannie right now.
And they're not reruns; they're the live shows.
For them, it's brand new.
But then they're finding it because they're so intelligent. They're finding out that these people in Earth are so stupid they didn't keep those shows going. So they said, "Listen, we don't want anything to do with that planet.
We don't want to go there with the idiots."
Right. So we're in no danger of getting
no danger. Never come back. No.
Spock said, "Susan's on a roll here." Spock said,
"Live long and prosper." Yeah.
Rhoda Martin, that's right too.
Yeah, laughing.
Oh,
Rhoda Martin's laughing.
God. Yeah. Oh, this is. We have got. I'm going on YouTube when I get on the show. Here.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you can go on YouTube and watch any one of these shows.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
My Mother the Car.
My mother's. What the? The Honeymooners. Oh,
yeah, classic,
man.
Of course.
Oh, let me see.
Then love the show with Dean Martin. Yeah, Dean Martin had a good show.
Oh, the roast there with
Foster Brooks, the guy.
Oh yeah, and I hate to be how we say this right. The black guy that they pick on all the time. Can't remember his name. But the stuff that they said in those shows, like Don Rickles, the stuff he said, he'd be in jail now for the stuff.
Of course.
Oh, funny.
And there was some shows like in the 70s, like the cop shows.
Right.
You know, in the 80s, T.J. Hooker and that.
Archie Bunker with All in the Family.
Wow. Imagine putting that on now. Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Some of that stuff.
It would be bad.
How about the Jeffersons? Ooh.
Yep. Moving on up.
Yeah. Moving on.
Those are all spinoffs of Archie.
Oh, going back to the Beverly Hillbillies is good too. Talking about like, what's her name was pretty hot too, right? The daughter,
Donna Douglas. I forget
Jessie May. What's her name? Dorothy May or Jessie May or
something? Yeah, something May. Yeah.
And Granny. And the son was Max Baer's son, correct?
Yes.
The boxer.
Yeah.
Who famously fought who in the movie?
Gene Braddock.
John Braddock. Gene Braddock. John Braddock. John Braddock.
James Braddock.
James Braddock.
James Braddock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cinderella Man.
There's a channel that shows all these old shows. The Me Channel.
Yes, you're right, Baron. Yeah.
I like that. The Me Channel. I'm gonna get a channel like that. The Me Channel.
Tom Channel.
The Tom Channel. Imagine that. What can we show? Like old hockey clips or something like that?
Hockey clips, discussions on poop. I mean, it would be
seriously. I'm telling you, I don't want to. I really want to formulate a show, do it properly, like the whole, like from start to finish with the poop, how the poop is developed internally.
Yeah.
Why sometimes you have diarrhea, why you're constipated.
Might be a big hit.
Right.
I'm not so sure though.
Like things like do studies. I've got a study to bring up. I saw, but do studies like, okay, when you have a big poop, you feel like you've lost like 20 pounds with a big poop.
Mm-hmm.
Like how much could you actually lose with your poop, right? I mean, just like that's the kind of stuff I saw. The reason I bring that up is there's something in USA Today or New York Post where they said 1 in 50 men believe that they could outrun a racehorse. Okay. So I'm thinking to myself, first of all, why would you think that's a story? Who would actually do a study?
Right.
Did somebody really go to 50 men? Did they just go to 50 men?
Right.
Like, was it like 50 men sitting on a couch someplace or in a bar? Did they? Yeah. I mean,
well, that's why you have to have, when you look at any research, you got to find out what was the population of the research.
Yes.
Right. You know, like the supplement companies will tell you, well, based upon research, people had a 400% increase in testosterone. Right. But they don't tell you they were burn victims in a hospital that were near death, and they gave them something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, I know. Adam 12, Flip Wilson. Yes, Flip Wilson.
You know, we just watched that the other night.
Oh, it's that Adam
Flip Wilson.
Oh, Flip Wilson. Yeah. Oh,
Dragnet.
Oh,
Joe Monday, Detective Joe Monday, Dragnet.
This is great. I love this stuff. My 3 sons. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God, we are in this is the problem we have in this world today.
Exactly.
We can talk about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
We used to watch these shows, have fun, joking around.
Even the Brady Bunch.
Yeah. The Brady Bunch.
Joe Namath showed up in the backyard. Having a catch with the
family. How about the Partridge Family?
Yeah.
Oh God, the Odd Couple. What a great commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show too.
Good. Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son was a spinoff of the Jeffersons, wasn't it? Or was that different?
No, that was totally on its own. Then Chico and the Man was a short-lived one with. Is it short-lived or short-lived?
Good point. I heard a well-respected announcer the other day say "lived."
That's what I've heard, but that makes sense.
Right. I think it depends on the scenario that you're using the word in, but yeah, because this is somebody that was very, like, you could tell he prepared himself to use that word, so it wasn't mean when he's showing it there. Short-lived. That's good one. How many words are like that where it's basically the same word in the same meaning, but can be used in a different short live? You're looking at it and say, I could say it lived or lived, right?
Yeah. That's one of them. I'm sure there's more.
The Monkees. Oh yeah. Hey, we're the Monkees. Yeah. We're just messing around.
Do you know Whiteout? Like
yeah.
So Michael Nesbitt, his mother invented Whiteout. Just a little trivia. Yeah. In case you're playing trivia.
The greatest one you come up with.
Yeah.
Like, how would you possibly?
I have no idea why I know that, but it's a fact. Yeah.
You have come up with some classics.
Yeah.
That could be the best one ever.
That might be it. Yeah. I don't think I can top that one.
So Michael Nesmith's mother created
Invented whiteout.
Yeah. And you knew that.
Knew it, yeah.
You have to study it. You didn't have to.
Yeah, no, it just came right out.
Oh God, we got a few minutes here before you have to go for your. I love the variety shows like Sunny.
Yeah, they were good. Beth just got done reading a biography on Cher.
Oh.
Yeah. And then last night, it was interesting. We watched a thing on Liza Minnelli.
Oh.
Man, she was a poor kid. She was really a tortured soul.
Because of her nose?
Yep, that was part of it, yeah.
No, she's not as bad. Who's the other one that had the big nose? Barbara Streisand? Is she the one with the...
Oh, yeah. They entered the room before she did. But, yeah, Liza's mother was Judy Garland. How do you mentally, it's a lot on you.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and she ended up having her own drug issues. She's still alive, though. She's like 80, I think, or something.
Is that right, eh? Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Let's get, I like this whole discussion. Yeah, we got to, I always love Hazel.
Yeah. The Baxters, yeah.
They made
George Baxter. Yeah.
I don't remember that show.
Yeah, I don't think I might have been too little to watch it when it was on, maybe not, but I watch it on the reruns now. Yeah.
Wasn't there made on who are the families that joined together? The
Brady Bunch?
Brady Bunch.
Yeah, Alice.
Alice.
Yeah, come on, Alice, yeah.
Alice.
Yeah, I think that's the band, Alice in Chains. I think that was who it meant. Yeah.
Oh, God. This is excellent. We're going to do this more often. Bob Uecker on Mr. Belvedere.
Oh, he was telling a story about, I became a baseball player because my father bought me a football. And as much as we practiced throwing it in the backyard, I just couldn't throw the damn thing.
Oh.
And finally, the neighbor was nice enough to come over and put some air in it. And he was awesome, man.
He was good. His delivery, too, was very,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Elizabeth McGuire, Bewitched.
Yeah.
Think about it. Okay, so did they actually say, let's get her dressed as sexy as possible?
So she wasn't dressed too provocative, but she was a really pretty lady. Yeah.
Bewitched. I'm thinking I Drew Genie. That's right.
Yeah, that was, they couldn't show her navel. Remember that?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, there was a gap there, but they couldn't show her navel. They thought it was too provocative. Yeah.
Compared to the outfit she was wearing?
I know, right? Yeah.
Wow. So what was the premise there? She came down. He was in the Air Force or something, right?
He was an astronaut when he landed. He landed on the beach, and there was a genie bottle, and he opened it up, and that was it.
So she became his genie then.
Correct.
And he couldn't get rid of it.
So they always built up that sexual tension because she was so hot looking, and she really liked her master.
Right.
So without being said, it was a very that built that sexual tension for the storyline. And then of course Dr. What's his name? It started with a B. The doctor, the Air Force doctor.
Right. Yeah.
He was always trying to catch him with something going on.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a great show. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good. Man, think of that, all the shows at that time. I mean, I asked you, people had to be very creative to get, because a lot of shows going through this whole list of.
Well, how about Hogan's Heroes? Hey, I got a
great idea for a comedy show. Nothing.
We could do a comedy show about a concentration.
I see nothing. Is that the one that said Hogan's Heroes?
Sergeant Schultz, yeah.
How about the Munsters too?
That was great. Addams Family and the Munsters.
Oh.
And then Twilight Zone and Outer Limits.
Welcome back, Kotter.
Yeah.
Oh, the old Superman shows too. Oh
yeah. The aliens always had that vacuum cleaner they would carry as their air tank. The old Electrolux vacuum.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God. Bellows. Who's Bellows?
Dr. Bellows.
Yeah. Dr. Bellows. Oh,
yeah,
okay. He's
Dr. Bellows.
Oh God. Let me see. Dr. Bellows. Susan got that as well. This is great. I love doing this. Elizabeth Montgomery was great in Twilight Zone episodes with Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson.
Yeah. I'll tell you, and Brendan's right. There were so many Twilight Zones that really great actors on, appearing. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Batman was good.
The most famous one is Dr. Spock when he was on the plane and he keeps looking out the window.
Oh.
On Twilight Zone, he sees this monkey creature out on the wing. And he's trying to alert everybody on the plane. They're all looking. They don't see anything. Yeah, it was pretty. That's one of the most. How
do you remember that one? Oh,
it scared the living daylights out of me when I was a little kid watching it. Yeah.
Oh, it's not right.
It's in black and white, Twilight Zone. Yeah.
The
William
Green
Shatner.
Hornet. Green Hornet.
Bruce Lee.
Base.
Bruce Lee.
Bruce
I dated
Lee's,
his sister.
Bruce Lee's sister invented
Yeah, Ugg. Yeah, first name was Ugg.
and their cousin is home, right?
Home.
That's an old dad joke right there. That's a bad.
Is it ever? Yeah.
The Green Hornet, Lost in Space.
Oh yeah, Lost in Space. Yeah.
What was the one? My father's a firefighter, so we used to watch 911 or so. I can't remember what it was called. Man,
Oh, Emergency.
Emergency. Thank you.
Randy Mantooth.
Oh, he would analyze the whole thing. There's not enough smoke in that building. Be more smoke.
That's awesome.
It was funny. You know what? It was.
Yeah.
I love my father to death, total respect for it, because that was his world, and like
Oh, yeah.
he went to the schools and the whole bit, so
Yeah.
he would analyze the whole.
Of course, yeah.
That's funny.
We had the first remote control in the house in the neighborhood.
You did?
Yeah, you're talking to him.
Oh, get him Jesus Jim. That's another thing too. Give it a. That was Shatner, William Shatner.
Yeah, William Shatner. I forget the name of the episode, but you don't know which one. No, it's a great.
What, he had his own show?
No, on Twilight Zone. He's a passenger.
Oh.
And he's looking out on a wing, and he sees like this monster kind of creature out there. He's trying to alert everybody on the plane. They're looking out. They don't see anything. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Man, I'm definitely going back and watching
one of the Twilight Zone classics. For sure.
I hope what it is, though, we have these great memories of it. I hope I don't go back and watch it now and go, that's not good. Yeah, I know. Like the one where it was like that Brian song, Brian Piccolo. I remember crying like a little baby watching that at first. I go back and watch it now. I'm like, what?
Yeah. About the White Shadow.
The White Shadow? Who's that?
I forget the guy's name. Big, tall, blonde dude. He was coaching an inner city team, all black kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here's one, the Bionic Woman. Oh.
Sure. Yeah. Bionic Man, Bionic Woman.
$6 million. That
was, what was her name? She's pretty hot.
Yeah. I mean, dark-haired girl, right?
Yeah. Her name escapes me right now, but yeah.
Then,
Burgess Meredith. That's not the one where his glasses were busted. Yeah. Dennis Hopper. Yeah. All those guys were in.
Look at saying her name escapes me right now. So
it got out somehow.
Yeah, how does that? So it just escaped, like the word was there and it ran away or something like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Broke out.
Yeah.
Like said, and you're not wrong. People use that phrase all the time. Instead of saying I can't remember the name, you go the name escapes me right now.
Well, I guess the inference is I had it, but somehow it escaped my brain.
Yeah. So you would have to have had it, right?
At one point.
Right. Yeah. But if you didn't ever have it, then
I don't know.
Right. Okay. I like those little, because you actually come up with answers to these questions for very often. Like,
there's a book out so rule of thumb. Do you know what the rule of thumb is?
I've heard the phrase, but I don't know how it came from. There you go.
There it is. So it used to be legal to hit your wife with what they call a switch, which is a branch, as long as it didn't exceed the width of your thumb.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Rule of thumb. So back in the day when it was acceptable to beat your wife with a switch or a twig. Yeah.
So they had rules for hitting your wife.
You had rules, yeah.
Wow.
It's like what's a curve can't be more than half inch or something.
Half inch, right. Yeah. Maybe I'll call up my ex-wife there and get them together.
Well, you got to buy the right tree.
Right tree. That's a good point. Lindsay Wagner was the
Lindsay Wagner. Yeah.
Who's Kenny Howard? Who's that?
Ken Howard was Ron Howard's brother. He was he would appear on.
Are you being serious?
Dead serious, yeah.
I would have said that it's Ron Howard's brother, but just joking because I wouldn't know.
Yeah, he was in. I guess his most famous. He was in American Graffiti.
Oh, American Graffiti.
He gets killed in Vietnam. He gets drafted. He goes in the story. He gets killed in Vietnam.
Oh God, what's here? This is good. I like this. John Travolta was at the bottom of the ravine emergency.
Exactly. Really? Yeah, it's funny, and she's right. You'll see some people that later on became famous.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the show I was thinking about. Hee Haw. This is the one.
That was a great show.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Oh.
And then you had Billy Mummy. What show was he on?
Billy Mummy?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Lost in Space. Will Robinson. Billy Mummy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Will Robinson come back or what was it?
Danger.
Yeah, Danger. Oh, Danger. Is that the little machine like with the
the robot. Yeah,
Oh God, that's funny. He was the coach, Barry Shelley says. Kenny Howard.
Oh, on the White Channel.
Yeah, it
Correct.
was White
Yes.
Channel. Clint,
Oh,
Clint,
different. Susan, I'm thinking of, is Ron Howard's brother's name Clint? Clint Howard.
Clint.
Yeah. Oh, it's right there. Right from.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's on the screen.
Yeah, the White Channel. Yeah, that was a good
Oh
show.
God, it's funny because you guys are bringing this up, and I can some of the stuff I can faintly remember. Others, I'm like, oh man, that's that's funny.
And unless so you wouldn't know, but like Wonderama was a big deal down here. It was a local Channel 5 New York kids show. Wonderama,
okay.
and then of course we had Soupy Sales.
Right. Soupy Sales. Soupy Sales, man, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, I know we've joked about this, but if you ever want to go back and pee your pants, it's the old Don Rickles roast that they do.
Oh God, just him in general.
Oh yeah,
Just him in general.
yeah.
I mean,
Because his humor nowadays, he just nobody ever touch it.
they'd run him out of town.
It is funny watching like Johnny Carson, David Letterman, just somewhat Jay Leno, and then compare them to the comedians now. Like I watched Johnny Carson get interviewed, and he said, "Listen, Paul, we're comedians. We should never be discussing politics."
And yet,
and now that's what they're doing now.
that's all they talk about.
Yeah. Because they even when they do, who's the guy that hosted the Oscars recently? The redheaded guy with the poofed up hair.
Conan O'Brien.
They do the promos like that are supposed to be funny to get you to watch him. He's just not funny. I don't mean to pick on him, but there's no humor in what he does at all, ever. But then how do they? It seems like he's like,
well, they have writers, so.
But even the stuff that they write, it's
not good.
Yeah, it's not funny stuff. Like Johnny Carson, like when he do the Karnak the Magnificent or whatever it was. Oh man.
Well, his writers like Steve Martin, the comedian, he was a writer for Johnny Carson. Yeah. So
and what I liked was too, Carson would get so into it himself. Like that was part of the humor of it, right? That he would be just peeing his pants.
Laugh at himself.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll leave you with this. One of the early before Carson, it was what was the guy's name? It was in black and white. It was the Tonight Show, but it was before Carson.
I know.
But he had a guy. I guess back then they would shoot the commercial live.
Right.
Right. And he was doing a commercial for a beer, and he didn't have a bottle opener. And one of the stagehands walked over, lifted up his pants. He had a wooden leg that he had to put in there a bottle opener. And walked up and
that's good.
It wasn't planned or anything.
That's right. All right, Mark's got to go.
Jack Parr. That's what it was.
Jack Parr.
Yeah.
Mark's got to go here. He's a busy man. So everybody, I like this. Let's continue this next week. Let's do a little homework on this. This should be one of our like missions in life. Let's get a hold of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And say, listen, all the thing you're doing is great,
but TV needs a revamp.
Yes, get rid of The View and all those kind of shows and get those other ones on. Okay, all right, have a great week, everybody. Everybody take care of themselves. Take care of your neighbors, all that too. Take care of your pooping. Wipe properly. All right, have a good shower. All right, everybody. Talk to you.
See you guys.